Hi, I'm Nancy Lorenz and this is my comic toning tutorial. I'm just selecting the face only. Now this is for general lighting, this is not for dramatic lighting in a comic panel. Obviously other rules would apply depending on the lighting, but if you're a novice and you don't really know how to do nice multi-tonal colour toning, then this tutorial might help you out a bit. Starting with a light beigey colour, and I'm just blocking in where I want the shadow to be. Start off pretty yellow and then slowly but surely, as the shadow gets deeper, make it a bit more red, a bit more purpley by pushing it towards the grey area of the palette that you keep seeing come up. Now this is just the way I do it. Other people do it differently. The way I do it is rather influenced by real media, as in painting on a canvas and that sort of thing. That's why I do it this way. I've been classically trained. I'm putting in a nice red there, putting it in the lips and the nose and the little cracks of the face and the shadow. I tend to use the smudge thing a lot, just to soften off where I've painted and stuff. I like it because it gives a nice painterly look, but that's just my style. If you want it smoother, you might prefer the smoothing options in Painter, Corel Painter. My preference is for Photoshop, because I've been using it since 1995, so yeah, that's just how I work. Here I am putting in a deeper colour. The area that I put in the shadow lessens the deeper the colour I get. I don't just, I'm not just going over colours. Sometimes I make a mistake and I'll go over a colour, but generally I like to put the colour that I want there down the first time. You know, other than fixing mistakes, I generally, okay, that's the colour I'm going with, I'm going with it, unless it looks heinously terrible, and then I'll replace it. To add to the picture in ways you wouldn't really predict it, you know, but I like that about art. I like it being a bit unpredictable, like, whoops, I made a mistake, but hey, that works, let's go with that. So yeah. As Ross, the music in the background is from Interstate 76, a very groovy game from the 90s. Andrea, the character that I'm colouring in here, she's very sexy, so this is why I have the Porntastic soundtrack. Here I'm doing the shadow of her eyes. Oh, I'm louder. And putting in a bit of blush as well. Always pay attention to how you render the shadows of the eyes, because you can say a lot about the person from the way their eyes look. If they're a little bit droopy at the ends, they can look a bit sad. If they're very bright open eyes, they can really say a lot. You know, they're very bright open people, so Andrea is a very sensual character, so she's got sort of warm brown eyes and alert as well, because I like her to look like she's looking into you. You can see there that there's a bit of I'm just putting in the warm shadows there in the nose. Some people go overboard, put a really lot, like so the tip of the nose is really dark. They do that a lot in anime. Me, because she's a comic character. She's wearing foundation. I don't tend to do that. See there, I just softened off that shadow. That was bugging me because it was too sharp. If you're really good at the colouring, if you're doing the right job, you put that colour down and it looks fine, and you don't have to do too much blush. Smudging. It just down the first time and it looks fantastic. And that's when you know you're on a roll. See there? Didn't do it right. Put the right colour in, looks much better. Zooming in on the lips, gonna do the lips now. Now I'm going for a glossy look with Andrea's lips. So what I tend to do is I put in the soft tones first, the soft sort of squishy, fleshy, expensive lip gloss tones, and then afterwards I put in the stark shadows and the gleamy lip gloss. And I do that highlight, that gleamy highlight, on the same layer as I do the eye highlights, just over the top of everything. And of course this is only base colouring. This is just starting off, getting the character in her environment and looking three-dimensional. Once I've finished all the toning, I go back even further and blend the character into the picture, because the picture has to be unified. You know, you go about doing all these little bits but they're still not a part of each other yet, and you have to blend them in. So in oncoming tutorials I'll be teaching you also how to do that. Here's a nice bright pink colour just to get that reflecty kind of. They go crazy with that in your Cosmo mags and your fashion magazines with your actresses' lips. They will add that in there, and it doesn't really happen in real life, but I think it makes a very dramatic picture, which is what you're going after with comics. You want that hyper real, really exciting kind of colour. And here I am putting the I'm working on the eyes now. See, I'm getting rid of that getting rid of the highlight. Oh my god, I haven't done the highlight layer yet. Sorry about that. Well, if you do the highlights on the lips, do it on the same layer. Or don't. It's up to you. I didn't. Here I'm making her eyes glow very amber. I mean, most brown-eyed people, it's pretty much a straight brown, but I'm just, because it's, as I said, hyper real, just really making those eyes striking. I like to make them. There's that highlights layer I told you about. Has to be on top of everything else, of all the other layers. You don't have to put much in to make it really exciting. Now I'm making the darker shadows on the sclera. Pretty sure that's what it's called. There are also highlights on the sclera that can also give a really nice dramatic effect. So I shadow in her eyes and then I go back with the highlight. See that? And over the line you've done. And that tends to make the eyes look gleaming. I'm looking at you, gleaming kind of thing. And here I am, finishing off the folds of the eyes in there. And that's Andrea's face. Tune in next time, dudes.